better than driving in the mountains, though. That I don't like that.
Alright, let's start.
Okay.
Okay, welcome to the PPRC podcast. I am your host, Rero, with Chewy and Green, because Green doesn't like being called the Green Idiot.
I'll I just like my name being said.
Okay, Green Idiot.
Thank you.
So, last week I had technical difficulties where I had no internet at my apartment when I moved in, and so the company has graciously given me a Wi Fi hotspot, which is what I'm using now to talk to you guys. It was weird not being on the internet for 2 days. It kind of makes you appreciate the free time you have and the disconnect.
Yeah, especially when you're in a non-familiar place.
Yeah, I had to go to the nearest hotel to use their Wi-Fi, and it's not even that big of a hotel. It's a historical hotel, and cache the maps, and that's how I use to navigate the area.
I bet you a murder happened at that hotel. Yeah. I mean, I when I went to Ireland for a week, the phone service wasn't that great, so I just spent most of the time just walking around Dublin.
Yeah, so my phone service, T-Mobile, is spotty here. So at the apartments, I cannot even do text and calling. So that's where other people have like Verizon. So all these other devices, the company phone and hotspot are all Verizon. So that's been working out pretty well.
Oh, yeah. If that doesn't work, you could always get a prepaid phone.
So I'm trying this free SIM card that allows you to get essential data, but it hasn't even arrived yet. It's called Text Now. You can pay $5 to get a SIM card to check your mail, do messaging. I don't know. It was free, it was like a pretty good deal. And if it doesn't work out, then I only lost $5.
I think there's some companies out there that'll do eSIMs. I don't know if your phone
Unfortunately,
supports that or not.
no. My phone's old. So
You need,
since I missed out last week because I had no internet, I've done things that I would have never done before. And I guess I survived my internet blackout. How'd you Have you guys been through like a internet blackout? Oh, no, not internet blackout. You know when
I mean,
yeah.
I go through points, but I think normally I have cell data.
Have you
But
ever tried using just turning your phone off and not using internet for extended period?
um, not really. I don't really feel the need to because I don't use my phone that much.
Well, that's good. Like I have all these YouTube subscriptions and articles, so scrolling through the old feed and realizing it's not updating was like I was thinking about, well, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And
I mean, all
so
you really can do is just go for a walk.
yeah, that's what I did. I went for a walk. I actually got in the car with my roommate and we went to go see like the nature sites in Iowa, and they're pretty good.
Yeah. I'm not too familiar with Iowa, but did you go to any national parks?
There are no national parks in Iowa, but there are a lot of like these nature reserves. So my roommate's actually like a bird watching enthusiast, so I got to shadow him, check out the birds. which is like very different.
Yeah. Normally you just see pigeons, right? Pigeons and seagulls.
Yeah, we also got to see the area where the tornado impacted the town. That was eye-opening.
Yeah. But hey, I bet Iowa didn't get as much smog as New York did.
Did they? I don't know. I have not been tracking New York.
Well, I mean like back last year.
Last year? No, they actually Iowa actually did get quite the air quality, the bad air quality, because it's basically south of Canada.
Well, I mean where I live in Wisconsin, wasn't great, but it wasn't as bad as New York.
Yeah, New York has was the worst of the world at one point. So,
Number one, baby.
hmm. So back to like the internet. Have you ever tried disconnecting? Chew, where you're like plugged in
Well, for what duration are you talking about?
more than a day or two?
I have never had that happen.
So you're basically a human android plugged into the internet.
Are you? I mean, other than like the time I'm on a plane,
Yeah, but on a plane
or
you're
like there's
like,
a power outage at home, but they don't last that long.
how long do they last?
Like, probably not more than like 4 hours at most.
Well, that's enough to do chores and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I when that happens, like I just do some cleaning.
Normally if I don't have anything to do on my phone, either I'll play guitar, I'll do chores, or I'll go to a national park and just climb the side of a mountain. Not really a mountain, but a very large hill.
So you hike. Wow. I was looking at my tab and I'm like, all these apps and things I've put on it are all internet based. So I just shut it down.
Yeah. I used to be very focused on like downloadable content because I when I was a, a teen, I had a phone, but it wasn't connected to any service. So I my main thing was legally downloading songs and or movies very illegally.
I mean, I did the same thing. I had a prepaid plan, basically just phone and text, and you just cache things or, you know, pirate things as you're trying to avoid green.
Allegedly.
Everyone's done it at some point.
One time because our internet at my house wasn't ever really good, but one time I took the password from my dad's work computer router thing, and I may have downloaded a movie on there, and they found out, and my dad got in trouble for it. But you know what? I blamed it on another country, and I think he believed it.
Oh my god.
I think I was like, um, yeah, they use other computers as hosts to download things, and I think it worked. I don't think I got caught.
So you're a small pirate. I'm also
Allegedly.
allegedly, for all we know, Green could just be telling a big story.
Yeah, could be. You won't know.
You want to talk about piracy, or I think Chu last 2 weeks ago he wanted to talk about energy, and since where I'm working at deals with a lot of wind energy, talk a lot bit more about that.
Sure.
Sure.
Well, the thing is, let's let's start off with the wind energy and how that became a source of your current job in counting dead bats.
All right, so there's a power company. Uh, they installed these wind turbines like 10, 15 years ago. So they need to track based on the wildlife, you know, what dies around turbines. These turbines are pretty medium sized, I'd say, and they're leased on these farmer lands. So farmers get a share of their cut because it's their lands. They need to grow the corn. So technically, power is cheap here. Unfortunately, the wildlife pays the price.
Yeah.
But there are a lot of wind turbines, and it is like countless. There's at least for where I'm at, I'm in a small team of a handful of members. That's only a we only cover a region because there's like a whole class of other team members when I did training that go out and live somewhere else to visit all these sites. And so they give you a car, they give you you get reimbursed for gas. You basically just go out there and you walk the road once you get there. I can't go into too many details because I signed an NDA because they don't want like bird watchers going to these plots where it's like leased land, stuff like that, drawing attention.
Yeah.
But I can share some images I took on my walk where I just, you know, tur- there's a turbine in the distance. So yeah,
And I feel like that's the thing about energy. There's no best solution. There's always going to be a drawback to anything or
well
any particular source.
the wind in Iowa is pretty good. It has to be a specific type of wind, constant and slow or strong, and so that's what keeps the turbines moving. If it's like turbulent or stuff like that, it just shuts down. They have brakes.
I will say one problem with the wind turbines is that if they don't need the energy that's being produced from them, they just turn off, even if it's windy, because they don't have a sufficient structure for holding on to that energy.
Yeah, that goes more into energy storage. So you got like batteries, flywheels, or sand batteries. Welcome to the podcast, Tony. You're our special guest tonight.
So I was late and I was busy.
I
It's
think you're
okay.
about 7 episodes late.
If I'm not interrupting, I don't mind me hopping in here and there.
No, we were just talking about the last topic was energy. So where I'm at, I'm looking at the wind turbines up close.
Hmm? Up close, like you climbed onto one of those towers.
No, I don't actually get to climb. I just walk around it.
Just saw a video, uh, about going off on what Green was saying. Yeah, they what is it? There's like it's like a multi-million-dollar transmission up there. They have frequency issues and yeah, storage issues, energy storage issues. I think Ireland's going crazy with them too.
Oh yeah, they are. From what I saw, being not landlocked, but I stayed in Dublin. But the one time I went out to Limerick on the train ride, there were plenty of wind turbines. And on Google, it says one of the main main issues with wind energy is noise and aesthetic pollution to the environment. So it sounds bad and it looks bad. Those are the main issues, guys.
Yeah, you do hear the sound up close, and they monitor the sounds. Sometimes the sound gets too loud, and so over here it's not a big problem because you have large plots of land, but can't imagine it like being in your backyard having a wind turbine.
What does it sound like? Do the tips of the blades break the sound barrier?
No, it's like a oscillating whoosh.
Uh, guess that's
I mean,
hard.
if you
Hard. Hmm?
if you
Agree?
go to olden times, they did have like windmills.
Yeah, but those are
I
wood
bet you.
and
Yeah,
creaky.
but I bet you everybody wants a windmill in their backyard
Why?
to have a windmill. Didn't
Frying
you ever?
the wheat that you grow.
I'd say
They want to
solar is a
be.
better option.
They want to be like Don Quixote.
If we're talking about renewable energy, solar is probably a better option.
Yeah.
Doesn't solar take up a lot of space and land? And
Yeah,
it's also like it doesn't produce at night.
there was a
Yeah,
video called solar panels and the battery from Solar City. Like the one that Elon and his brother um formed. It's not bad. The numbers work out. Uh, I didn't pay too much close attention to it, but it looks cool.
And
I
there are
think
like a lot of minerals that have to also be mined for the solar panels as well.
I'm not too sure about that.
Yeah, I heard
I,
China
I
on those things, and China and some country from Africa.
All I do know is that solar panels are dirt cheap now because China's been overproducing them, but that's going to change soon because of the Biden tax.
yeah. I think the best like carbon neutral energy is geothermal vents. I think that's the best, in my opinion.
That's a long way to drill down. And you need
And
Yeah.
like
And you have to have the source nearby too.
Yeah, but
that's you got to do it at scale as well. I haven't seen any like small what is it? Yeah, small scaled in residential.
what do you guys think about nuclear?
We should do it.
We
do
should
it,
do it.
do it
We
for
should
the
do
memes,
it.
do it for the memes and the free energy.
I saw a video about them shutting down like a scaled down version of a nuclear reactor meant for showing people like how they work in
I saw
Germany. It's being shut down, and they're hoping that somebody will buy it so that you know, it doesn't go to waste. Because like Germany, I think at some point, I think after 3 Mile Island, um, they just banned all nuclear power plants in the country.
Yeah, they do not want a Chernobyl, and the like public response doesn't really know how nuclear works. Like the tower is not actually nuclear; it's just a water tower. But people associate with like, oh no, we're gonna have a nuclear war.
Yeah, and I think most, or at least Chernobyl and 3 Mile Island, they were both just bad designs. Um, because with 3 Mile Island, it was a valve didn't shut, and I think the indicator for it was covered by a tag or something. but it wasn't. I don't think anyone died at 3 Mile Island.
So just like poor system design and poor
Yeah,
oversight.
yeah.
Do you know how
Well,
you get electricity?
Boiling the water, turning the steam into energy.
So you burn fuel where you're at.
Yes,
We
you use the radiation, or not the radiation, but the heat
the heat. Yeah.
generated by the
What about
nuclear reaction.
what about locally? Like, do you know how power is generated where you live at?
I would assume coal or fossil fuel.
Burn, burn baby, burn.
Uh-huh.
I use well, we used hydro electricity here.
Hydroelectricity is pretty good.
It's good, but
It
people hate it. For some reason, people
well,
hate it.
I mean, if it depends on what it is. Like if it's a dam that blocks the eco life in the
Yes.
water, then that's not great.
So people are not happy that, like, to have a dam, then its amount of land has to be lost. And people are not happy about that. But once again, like, when are people happy about anything?
Japan went through
mhm.
like a similar a long time ago, similar story. They built a lot of dams to run power generation, and they had opposition from the townspeople. But I think overall it's good because cheaper power, and then you always have a water source nearby, as long as you don't flood.
The
Yeah.
issue sometimes is that there's not enough snow or rain, and then that leads to, like, summertime. It's like, okay, well, we're starting to run low on the
So
storage.
your reservoir actually goes low.
Yes,
Oh damn.
on top of, like, the normal
Damn.
evaporation that happens during the summer. But, like, yeah, it depends on how much snow and water or snow and rain we get throughout the year.
Another thing is that rivers want to change course, and if you're this isn't I don't think this has to do with the energy part of it, but like with New Orleans, um, rivers want to change course, but we're actively trying to stop them from changing course.
Yeah, there's always like an ecological impact for anything we do. So, like, wind is like, okay, well, you get these flying birds or bats that just end up dying because they get hit by the fan blades.
Fun
And
fact:
then
it's not just the
hydro
fan
is like,
blade;
we're losing. Oh, what else is there?
it's the wind pressure causing their blood vessels to burst.
Oh, wow.
What?
That's
Damn.
What is
metal, man.
If you want to know
what?
how bats die from the wind turbines, it's not just the blade hitting them; it's the wind pressure difference, like causing their blood vessels to burst as they pass
So
through
it's
the
like
wind.
a near hit at
Oh
that
damn.
point.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like if you survive the hit, just it's still all that pressure burst of and cause internal bleeding. Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
that's rough.
Woohoo. We
Dead
did.
set.
It's like
I'd say
and
solar is like pretty good overall. Even though solar degrades over time and it's not really recyclable, it has a long life and you could just keep using it as long as you have land.
yeah, it's easy to put up too. I've seen like well, probably one of the coolest energy sources was a small residential was it water turbine. They But obviously they had like it's only for the people who live close to the like a river or something, and they just build their own little water turbine. Pretty cool. Off grid, but mm, more like a gimmick.
Dead set. How is energy made in your state, in your land?
Well, the usual. We got some. We're quite diversified actually. We got geothermal, yeah. The usual coal-fired plants, yeah, and some diesel plants also, yeah. And of course, we had that failed nuclear power plant that is still yeah, being debated until this day, yeah.
Yeah, nuclear.
So that's that. Yeah, we have one plant, yeah, in one of our provinces that we built but never even turned it on, not even once.
Wow.
Yeah,
Millions of dollars. Well, I don't know what your currency
yeah,
is.
down the drain. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
I just looked it up, and there's about 11,000 um, power plants in the U.S., and you'd only need around 600 nuclear plants to meet demands.
Well, the trend with nuclear is they're going to build micronuclear, so you can do like it won't power a whole city, but it'll power like a town, and so it'll
yeah.
be easy portable.
What was that? Safer type? Was it thorium or something like that? And it's fusion based, not fission based.
Yeah, that's upcoming.
Yeah.
I say we just gather up all the raccoons and put them on a wheel
Woohoo!
and have them run.
I miss my hamsters now.
But you would have to feed them.
And take care of this and deal with this shit.
Yeah.
I bet we could train them.
So now you're using food energy, and you would have to have farms and land to
Yeah,
support that.
that's so inefficient because all the energy comes from the sun, and then the animals have to eat it from the plants, and then you finally make them to power some generator.
Yeah.
Power them with food waste.
So what you're saying is we need to make a contract with Ra, the sun god, to
It's so weird. I'm
Where's the Matrix?
what?
Give me my blue pill and plug me in. Woohoo!
He's not going for the red pill.
Do you guys know about Apophis 99942?
Hmm.
Prophecy.
Apophis. It's a meteorite that's gonna come around. I think it's gonna pass between the moon and the Earth in 2029, April 13th, I
Catch
think.
it.
And we mine it,
Nope.
Probably not.
It's still too
and we
early for
destroy
mining.
it.
How big
Yeah.
is it?
And then there's another one called Bennu. I forget when that one's coming
Yeah,
around.
just post it in the
Name sounds
podcast chat.
familiar.
That way Tony can look at it. We're
Is
spacing
there?
anyways.
I think the first thing on
Basically.
Americans' mind is there oil on it?
There's no oil. It's probably just
No, there's
minerals,
you need life. You need life to have
Yeah,
oil.
iron and yeah, stuff,
gold,
other minerals, metal, yeah.
Yeah.
platinum.
There's equivalent to oil on the asteroids. Probably a lot of minerals and whatnot.
Yeah, wasn't there that movie? Um, was it Armageddon or something? Where
Yeah.
they had to land on the meteorite and then blow it up. But then there was also another movie where they were like, okay, people were like, it was an advanced civilization at that point. People were going to asteroids to mine it and then, bring that stuff back home. Forgot the name of the movie.
Yeah, I
It
don't
was,
know that many space movies besides Interstellar.
wasn't it
Gotta
Surviving
watch
Mars?
that again.
Tony, say that again.
Wasn't it Surviving Mars? Mark Watney? Yeah. He grew his own potatoes with the shit on Mars.
That's The Martian, bro.
Oh, The Martian, yeah. Matt Damon, yeah.
That's Matt Damon.
Boy,
It's Matt
Surviving Mars.
Damon. Yeah.
No, his
He
in-game
didn't even say Matt Wahlberg.
his character in the movie was a Mark Watney.
So on spaceships, like real life spaceships, they only rely on solar power, right? And of course, battery.
The Martian
Yeah.
rover has a nuclear battery,
Oh,
so it generates the heat and that powers the you know, electricity somehow.
I think it's heat with the thermocouple. If you put two different pieces of metal together, you make one set hot. It generates a voltage. You have like a million, not like thousands of those. You should generate sufficient voltage to run something.
Mm-hmm. Tony is a space engineer.
Yeah.
On and off.
how do we feel about oil and gas? Is it gonna go away, or is it
No.
still forever gonna be part of our lives
So
as an energy source? That is.
my state has like all these green goals, but they shut down the nuclear power plant and they keep, running the natural gas generators because they have no other way to make demand. So it's kind of hypocritical for them to say, yeah, we're going to be green by like 2035, but we still got to run all these gas generators.
Such a
Coal, I think
fast.
we're getting off coal. That's
I can see the reason of getting off coal just because it's so dirty. But then it's like, well, these other like countries that really don't care about their environment policies, they're just going to use the cheapest source that they can find to save a buck, and that's coal.
I
So
think I
then,
think
yeah, so then like environmental policy, like for one country, it's like okay, that's good and all, but the world has to kind of come together on that, and I don't really see that happening.
Well, all we
I'll
can
to
do is control ourselves. Yeah, go ahead, Tony.
to go off on Chu's point, like how we feel about oil and will it ever disappear? No, probably it won't. If there's life, there's definitely gonna be oil. And I don't see it disappearing for as of now. Definitely not disappearing because like what America's doing, they try. I think America tried to go green. I don't know too much about the detail, but now the oil giants they kind of pulled some strings, and it's not going away anytime soon. Plus, well, optimistically speaking, we'll still use oil usage probably will go like down, will balance out between electrical thing, well, electric vehicles, batteries and whatnot, and there's definitely still gonna be oil, diesel, gasoline powered, diesel powered things. um but to solve all the climate issue problems, if somebody can figure out how to mass produce a carbon nanofiber, carbon fiber, or anything, any construction material made out of carbon, right? You think about it. It's like taking a bunch of coal, you make a bridge out of it. You do that all over the place, and it's just coal sitting there, right? You're not gonna burn the bridge for power, much like we do for our coal mines. And then you keep doing that at massive scale, and there you go. You technically solve the global warming issue. You trap the carbon somewhere, right?
I think like part of the issue is that like a lot of heavy industries that aren't directly related to oil and gas, their activities still pollute the environment. Like, for example, concrete making, right? Concrete is a very polluting activity to, like, concrete production causes a lot of pollution.
Even making
Um,
like setting the concrete releases a lot of carbon dioxide,
yeah,
but
and it's like
it's necessary.
it's necessary. Yeah, we can't live without concrete unless we try to make
Also,
those like mass timber buildings. But there's a limit to how how much you can build with mass timber.
Also, there's farming and cattle.
Yes, that too.
Oh yeah, I read an article that they're gonna start charging some farmers who own cattle like a methane tax. I thought it was really funny.
What?
uh,
I don't think it's in the US, it's some other country, like Europe.
I think the only way to do farming as eco-friendly as possible would be to do it in the what is it called? Like it's a greenhouse, but it's like on steroids,
Well, you can't do that in
Like
Iowa.
a giant dome.
basically, and they just stack the crops. But even that isn't, it uses a lot of energy. So you'd have to then build a nuclear power plant right next to it.
So all roads lead to nuclear or solar
Yep.
or hydro.
Well, it's either you pull the energy from the sun or from the Earth's core.
Can't we just like live without energy? Can
Yeah,
we go
you
back
die.
to that?
No, you just die.
you tried that? It's rough. You'll appreciate energy when your life depends on lighting a fire or not.
All right,
No,
let's
I
end the
I can use a
podcast.
lighter.
What?
Let's end the
I
podcast
can
for
use the
tonight.
lighter.
What? So early? Wait, when did you guys start?
45 minutes ago.
Oh, all right.
We need the quote of wisdom for this week. That's it.
What? Why me?
I don't know. I mean, you're the one who's the mascot.
Dang it.
That's the quote.
How about some energy saving quotes? Energy saving tips.
Go to sleep early.
Okay.
Lots of Coca-Cola, lots of energy.
Yeah.
Funny enough, I have a roommate. My roommate is he's a bird watcher and he's was also a farmer and he also drinks a lot of Pepsi.
Woohoo.
You should have had him join the podcast.
We both need to rest up. Tomorrow's our technically our first day on the job.
For the windmills?
Yeah, I had a today's off day. I did a technically Saturday was my first day, but tomorrow's gonna be a longer day. So if I haven't told you, Tony, I'm in Iowa, and I go to the turbines and see if there's anything dead there, and mark and survey it.
Iowa. What is that? It's New York to Iowa now.
So I did change time zone, so it's actually 11 here for me, 10:45 p.m.
So you survey the area around one turbine and look at those dead carcasses, right?
It's not just
And make
one.
a report
It's
on
it's
it.
not just one that's it's like 20 a day.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
So
I
you
was
make a survey, make a report, and tell your bosses how many birds, bats, and whatever that got killed by the turbine, right?
Yeah,
Who cleans it up?
so you just drive around Iowa. I'm looking at it right now.
yeah.
There's
I
Is there
Omaha.
a team that
It's
cleans up
better to
the?
not look at it, Tony.
Is there a team that cleans up the dead corpses?
the birds you leave, the bats we collect.
Oh man.
It's interesting. I'm surrounded by I study engineering, right? And then I'm surrounded by people who study biology. Everyone's so passionate about all these animals and bird watching, and I'm like, this is so new to me.
My God, that's a lot of farmland.
They gave me
Yep.
2023 Nissan SUV to drive on the gravel roads. It's quite
Oh
fun.
God.
Ooh, nice.
2020 what? Nissan what?
A Nissan SUV. So when you in the interview, you kind of ask for a truck, and one of my team members got like a 2024 hybrid truck.
Nice.
They just
Hell yeah.
rent from Enterprise. I mean, hey, if you're interested, I can send you a no, I can't send you a reference.
Well, looks interesting.
You know what you should do, Rero? On the 4th, you should go to the top of a windmill and then
Yeah.
just set off so many fireworks.
You know what the project manager said, right? The bats will be coming starting on July 4th. So you're out there. I'm like, okay.
Are they tracking the migration or
Uh,
whatever the bats do? I don't know what
yeah,
bats do.
I don't know what bats do.
Is it like a seasonal thing?
Yeah. Some are seasonal, some are cave.
Aren't we supposed to
Oh,
get
okay.
a lot of cicadas this year?
I don't know about the bugs, but that's where I'm at. So hopefully next week I can talk a little bit longer as I adjust to my new schedule. And that is it for today's podcast. Of course,
Woohoo.